hit the like button and support. This is definitely real truthful news I've been putting out. This is not an easy thing to do because a lot of people want to pick sides in a lot of situations, but I'm here to tell the truth. And 50 Cent has definitely gotten a pass with a lot of things over the years, but in this Kendrick thing, a lot of people not really paying attention to stuff. And it seems like he's always involving himself in the Drake and Kendrick situation. He doesn't really have to involve himself or answer any questions about this. He has enough of his own things that goes on to where he could focus on. But when he involved himself in the Kendrick and Drake, just mentioning certain things going on Andrew Schultz show after he disrespecting Kendrick, even though he addressed Andrew Schultz, if you're really a street dude and you're really about loyalty, like 50 Cent says he's a big guy on loyalty, we here to test and see where his loyalty is. And I don't think he's as loyal as people say he is. He gets mad at other people like Meech and everything for being loyal. But what if Kendrick Lamar was mad at him for being on Andrew Schultz show after talking about sexual assaults of another man like Kendrick Lamar? That wasn't really the cool thing to really be around, especially when you're a street guy, when you consider yourself a gangster like 50 Cent referred to himself over the years. And, I think a lot of this has come from the Dr. Dre thing, as far as Dr. Dre has basically replaced Kendrick with 50 Cent. And people don't realize this. The guy who replaced Kendrick with 50 Cent was Dr. Dre. And a lot of people overlook that. And to be honest with you, the Game was a person who helped bring Kendrick to 50 Cent. Not 50 Cent, but Dr. Dre. The Game was actually a person who introduced Kendrick to Dr. Dre. And that just shows you that Dr. Dre was still involved with the Game. And then 50 Cent didn't really like that at first at all, because he feels like, hey, whoever my enemy should be your enemy. And people overlook that a lot over the years. And to be honest with you, I feel like he's taking shots at Kendrick subliminally. Even when he had the power role, I kept asking myself, why is Kendrick playing a homeless man? And people were saying, oh, that was cool of 50 to do that because Kendrick did a great job in the acting role. Kendrick did an amazing job in the acting role. But still, you got to think about it. Why did he make Kendrick a homeless man on there? When I think about that, I'm like, okay. But that's really some of the only business they actually done over the years. He's not really done much with them. And in this Drake and Kendrick situation, 50 Cent feels like he sides with Drake on a lot of things because a lot of record labels have taken money from 50 Cent, allegedly, that he feels like is owed to him, or business-wise feels like it's owed to him, allegedly. He feels like he wasn't done in the right way, like a lot of people think he's been done, especially since Drake feels the same way. So, he feels like they have that in common. He's not literally just picking sides, because I am going to be fair and unbiased about it. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. He feels like whatever's happening to Drake as far as in things is happening with him. What has happened to him, especially when it came to beef. When he's had beef with certain people, maybe record labels have invested in the guy who's going against them a lot more, and he's needed extra firepower and needed to go on social media and use that to his advantage. But from what 50 Cent has seen over the years, he felt like the loyalty, first of all, from Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine should have been with him no matter what, because of how much success he's brought to them and their record label, Shady Records and everything else. And Kendrick Lamar is a guy who needed that extra push in the beginning from Dr. Dre to get to where he is. And like I said, Dr. Dre literally just replaced Kendrick with 50 Cent. And not only has that happened, but Kendrick Lamar's run in music has been longer than 50 Cent's. To be honest with you, Kendrick has been around like 15, 16 years. I would say 50 Cent's run in music was under 15 years, probably around 10, if we're being, and I'm being nice about that number. To be honest with you, I think it was around 7 or 8 that 50 Cent's run in music lasted. And that's not a long time when you're thinking about how long he's been on top. Jay-Z's run has been longer. Drake's run has been longer in music than 50 Cent's. And he sold just about as many records as everybody. And even now, a lot of people still globally are still discovering his music every day. And he knows this. He knows what the numbers are. But he didn't really feel valued around the time. And that's kind of made him take sides in certain things. But the way he speaks on things, it makes it seem like he doesn't really co-sign what's going on with Kendrick Lamar. It almost seems as if he feels like the record labels are siding with Kendrick in a lot of things and giving him that extra push. Because the way he talks, even like when it came to Drake and Kendrick, it seemed like he's sided a lot with Kendrick. Even Rick Ross has had some things in the past where he was like, why would you go with the Canadian over Dr. Dre? I thought that Dr. Dre was the guy who put you on. And for him to even question 50 Cent's loyalty to Dr. Dre, that just shows everything. I said, I thought Dr. Dre put you on. I thought you was loyal to Dr. Dre. He said, you mean to tell me you went with the Canadian over Dr. Dre, who you say changed your life? You did shut the F up once the Canadian took the L. You got totally quiet. Nothing else works for him. This one, 50 Cent was saying about Rick Ross. He said nothing else works for him. When things get bad, he mentions me. I mean, that strategy that Rick Ross used, he got from 50. I mean, anytime something bad happens or he needs something to talk about, 50 Cent will just name up Rick Ross, or he'll name a Little Kim or The Game or anybody else he has beef with over the years. So that strategy came from 50 Cent. Rick Ross even tell you that. He said, hey guys, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada. I just want to say to everyone that I hope that that brother made it home safely. I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world. That part where that young guy went like, he did this little move and got knocked the F out, that does not reflect him. That reflects his camp. And that's what 50 was talking about, Rick Ross, as far as he said Rick Ross and his crew got jumped in Canada for playing Not Like Us during the show. So, you know, a lot of people was basically looking at 50 Cent like, man, why does he keep involving himself? Even me, I was like, why do he keep involving himself in this Kendrick and Drake thing? I think it got a lot to do with certain things as far as record labels, but dude is picking sides though. And I'm looking at the fans crazy because they really been giving 50 a pass for kind of going against a lot of stuff that Kendrick has done. I know he's salty about the Super Bowl performance. You know, I haven't seen 50 really brag about the Super Bowl performance. Has anybody else? To be honest with you, 50 has started more beef. He's beef more around this halftime show that Kendrick had before and after more than he ever has in his life. I feel like he's basically indirectly trying to take the attention away. And people will say, you crazy. Bruh, when has 50 talked this much during beef? Yeah, he said Kendrick deserved the halftime show. Of course he gonna say that. If he does it, he'll get ran through the coal because everybody know he a hater. He said, yeah, he deserved the halftime show. Right now, he the guy. Yeah, but if you ask 50, you know what's crazy though? But if you ask 50, hey man, what's up with the record labels and everything else about why they ain't showing you the type of respect that they showing Drake or these other guys over the years? What's going on with that? He gonna come out and tell you the truth. But does he co-sign and support Kendrick in a lot of ways? I don't know. Like I said, he's kind of, like I said, 50 Cent is a guy about loyalty. So why would he side with Kendrick Lamar as far as the halftime show, but any other time and certain things, he's kind of siding with Drake? Doesn't make any sense. If you're going to side with Kendrick Lamar one time, you need to do it the whole time, because at the end of the day, that's a guy who's on the same side as you would think. Dr. Dre put you in the game. He put him in the game. And if you think about it, that's the guy you need to be rolling with. That's how I look at it. But he says, he shares his opinion on the Kendrick Lamar. He says, I think Kendrick deserves it. As a solo artist right now, he's the guy. I mean it. It was a choice. And I don't really know. I don't know if that's how he feels. By having the game played in New Orleans, I can see why people think Lil Wayne should perform the way the last show was put together with me, Eminem, Dr. Dre. Kendrick was there then, and Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Kendrick got to perform twice. I'm pretty sure he's kind of thinking about certain things like that, but I wonder how people feel about the indirect stuff. You would think 50 Cent would actually be going around, because you got to realize when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill, 50 Cent was the first person I seen that was actually, 50 Cent was the first person I seen that was actually out here like, man, y'all seen what that boy did in Canada? He had everybody in Canada screaming back to back and everything else. He had Will Smith out there. Man, that's crazy. When he was saying all that, he was like, man, that's crazy. But now, he ain't really saying much about the halftime show. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any videos about the halftime show. None of them. I haven't seen many things come up about the halftime show. All I seen was him talking about Irv Gotti. He posted that. And that was about it. And then he was talking about the halftime. And then you know what's crazy? The only thing I seen 50 posts was something talking about a comedy show during the Super Bowl. That's all I see. I seen him post that, but I ain't seen him post much about Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. You would think, and I was thinking to myself, why is 50 involving himself? I said, why is 50 involving himself in all of these beefs like Drake and Meek Mill? But then when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, he ain't really saying much. Y'all remember when he was doing the fake beef, running around telling folks that people owe him money and everything else? Sad look, man.